Hey YouTube, welcome back to Axis and Allies, the Garrison. This is Detroit coming to you with another episode of the YouTube Wars. Welcome to Axis and Allies, the Garrison. So, it is episode 2.4. It is the USA's turn, and the US is under the command of my good friend G.I. Joe. Question I have for you guys and for G.I. Joe, what is he going to do? Let's not forget that early round one, when it was the USA's turn, G.I. Joe made movements and made purchases that were geared towards a dual strategy where he's not only focusing in the Pacific, but he is also focusing on the European theater side of war. He has allocated naval resources on Sea Zone 26 in the Pacific, across from the island of Hawaii, and he has allocated resources in Sea Zone 101 off the coast of the eastern seaboard of the United States. Okay, very interesting strategy. Also, he made a very interesting move or purchase, I should say, which actually I have to admit did surprise me, which I found to be very ingenious, and I really liked it as a matter of fact. And that was the purchase of the minor industrial complex that he placed in Alaska. Very interesting purchase. Okay, I never thought of doing that. If anything, I've actually in the past thought of potentially maybe placing a minor industrial complex somewhere in Mexico. It never occurred to me that it may be feasible to allocate or place a minor industrial complex in Alaska. Very interesting. I like that move a lot because it definitely introduces new tactical options for the USA. So power to G.I. Joe. Very good move. I like it. And definitely makes me as the commander of Imperial Japan to think twice and look behind me. Okay, and that's exactly what's happening right now. Where now me as the Japanese commander, I have to worry about the USA producing war material rather close to Japan. All right, guys, let me know what you think. Okay, I look forward to hearing your commentaries, and also please, as I asked you before, I know that a good number of you that watch this channel are not yet subscribed. I know that my analytics tell me that 50% of my viewers are not subscribed. So I would very much appreciate if you did subscribe and also hit that like button. I would really appreciate that because that makes my channel, I guess, more known for YouTubers who may have an interest in the game as well. All right, guys, let me know. And enjoy this episode of Axis and Allies, the YouTube Wars. All right, so it is the USA's turn. The US is still currently out of the war. As we all know, the US now is in round two and is preparing slowly but surely to engage a future conflict with the Axis. So let's go over the ground situation for the US, or naval situation, where the US has coalesced its fleet in Sea Zone 26. The U.S. has a carrier, a fully loaded carrier with a tactical bomber and one fighter in Sea Zone 30. U.S. also has a small fleet in Sea Zone 23. And during last round, the U.S. purchased everybody when they purchased one minor complex in Alaska. So that was a surprise purchase. At least for me, it was something that I did not see coming. All right. So, and also the U.S. Brought over with its transport and one destroyer to Alaska, two infantry divisions. All right. So the purchases that G.I. Joe made for the USA, the USA starts this round with 52 IPCs, which it spent all. The U.S. purchased one infantry, recruited one infantry division, three naval transports. There's 1, 2, and 3. One submarine, and as well as a cruiser, and one fighter. Okay, these were the purchases that totaled 52 IPCs for the USA. Now, of course, USA is under the command of G.I. Joe. All right, so let's go ahead then with non-combat movements. That's all that the U.S. could do at this point in time because the U.S. is still out of the war. In effect, the U.S. cannot declare war until the end of round 3 and will, for all intent and practical purposes, not go into full war mode until round 4. And of course, also let's not forget what the U.S. has on the eastern seaboard of the United States. I was forgetting to mention the U.S. does have a carrier, a destroyer, actually a cruiser, a destroyer, a naval transport, and 2 submarines in Sea Zone 101. All right, so that's food for thought there. All right, so let's go ahead then with the non-combat movements, and let's start first by making the movements here on the eastern seaboard coming from Sea Zone 101. 101. The U.S. will make one movement, okay, of its cruiser and move it up to Sea Zone 102. So the cruiser comes from Sea Zone 101 and moves up to Sea Zone 102. All right, so that's the only movement on the eastern seaboard of the United States. And there's an error here. Let me make this correction. These British forces are actually in Quebec. The artillery and destroyer and infantry are in Ontario. All right, so let me make that correction. All right, so let's go over to the Pacific, where in Sea Zone number 2, the naval transport will pick up its 2 infantry divisions and make steam for Sea Zone 4 at a movement of 2. That'll be 1 and 2. Okay, it will, of course, the 2 infantry will remain on board. Let's not forget about that. All right, so, okay, the fleet in Sea Zone 26 off the coast of Hawaii will be moving to Sea Zone 15 at a movement of 2. So that'll be, let me get this out of the way, 1, no, actually 1, right, 1 and 2. All right. The 2 fighters in Hawaii at a movement of 3 will go 1, 2, and 3 will be landing on the island of Midway. Okay, that's that for those units. The carrier in Sea Zone number 30 will be moving over to Sea Zone number 25 at a movement of 2 as well. All right, so that'll be movement of 1 and movement of 2. All right, so this carrier currently is off the coast of Midway. Okay, the destroyer. You have the U.S. fleet in Sea Zone 23. The destroyer will make sail, will make steam for Sea Zone 25. Okay, let's do that. That destroyer will make steam and, whoa, keeps on going, this guy, at a movement of 2, and will link up with the carrier in Sea Zone 25. Okay, the sub in Sea Zone 23 will head north and will move at a movement of 1 and end up in Sea Zone number 24. All right. Okay, I believe that's it for all the non-combat movements for the U.S.A. So let's go ahead then with the placements of newly recruited and purchased units. So the infantry, 1 naval transport, and 1 sub will be placed off the coast of Alaska, okay, as well as the 1 infantry that was recruited. So it's a total of 3 pieces that were placed. Okay, the remainder, okay, will be going over to the eastern seaboard and will be placed. 3 units will go on the eastern seaboard, as well as one naval transport, 2 naval transports, and technically that's a total of 3 units that were just placed coming from from the eastern seaboard of the United States. However, let's not forget that Central USA also has access to Sea Zone 101, so this cruiser will be placed in Sea Zone 101, even though it's coming from a different minor industrial complex. Because the U.S. is not yet at war, the U.S. has, in essence, minor complexes. Once the U.S. enters the war, those minor complexes will become major industrial complexes. All right, guys, that's about it. It's a rather short turn for the United States. Okay, so this is the end of the U.S.A.'s turn that is under the command of G.I. Joe. The U.S. will be collecting a total of 52 IPCs for this coming round number 3. All right, so for now, the ball now is on Sire Blood's court, and who is in command of the UK, right? And of course, let's not forget that the UK, that Saribut is in command of the UK, but he also controls China as well. All right, guys. Hope you found this episode entertaining, and I look forward to hearing your commentaries. Till next time.